I think you should know from God one of the reasons he has instituted something like no sex before marriage. One of the reasons he has cordoned off this thing called sex in marriage. There are other people who have spoken about this, and they are really strong, clear voices. They've said things like the reason is children born in the confines of marriage are the most protected children, where you have a committed man and a committed woman in a covenantal relationship to build a family, and a child comes into that union, comes into that environment. Those children are in the best environment for their development, for their success, for seeing what they should expect when they grow up and look for a future, look for a spouse. So I'm not going to retread those waters. What I do want to talk about is one of the things that we see, which is that in God's design of men and women, he did not make it such that the desire for the person, even the person that you're going to marry, right? So it's like, hey, we're going to get married anyways. And he's saying, no, you have to wait till you actually get married. His desire is not such that he has taken away that burn, right? Until you get married, and then it's activated, which is the case with motherhood for many, not for all. But when the baby comes, all of the oxytocin, all of the maternal hormones, they just awaken, right? And it's even when the child is in the womb, they're forming, they're growing, those hormones, those chemicals, those neurochemicals, and the bond between the mother and the child. It's something that God has instituted, that at birth, the mother enters a motherhood, mental space, emotional space. But with this thing, sex before marriage, he doesn't make it so that biologically speaking, when you get married, it's then you'll start burning. It's very real that many of us feel the desire, the pull, the pressure before marriage. What then is the reason that he has allowed that to be the case? And this is something that I want to bring into the conversation. And that is that you as an individual are living in a fallen world, you're living in a broken world, where your proclivities are not always for your good. And so in God's mind, there is now a natural place for you to learn how to be in an environment where something feels natural, but you don't do it because it's wrong. Something feels natural, but you hold yourself back from that script. We've gone out to eat, it's a beautiful night, it's a beautiful date. We've come back home, I've dropped my date off at the door, and at the door there's a script that says, hey, you want to come in? Having the ability to see that this is a natural progression, but to say no to it, to say good night, I'll see you tomorrow. That ability is something that you will need later in life. And this place that he has allowed you to be trained in it is actually a mercy. This is why men who don't practice this before marriage will be in a long-standing professional relationship with someone. Maybe it's a colleague, maybe it's someone that reports to them, and throughout all the struggling and the striving of the professional space and their careers, will get to this place where they feel really connected. Now, it's natural in that one moment of triumph or victory over a contract or something to give a special hug or to even feel like you want to give that person a kiss. But because it's natural doesn't mean you should do it. And if you didn't develop the muscle, the skill, the ability before you were married to your actual spouse to say no to yourself when something feels natural, how will you now, when something feels so-called natural with your secretary or colleague, say no to it? You have not developed the muscle, you have not developed the ability. And so this idea is not just limited to this sort of scenario, it's also you see your child and they've done something that enrages you and it feels natural to you to strike them. It shouldn't be, but it feels natural to you to strike them. How will you stop yourself from doing something that feels natural to you because it's still wrong for you to do it? If you never flex that muscle, you never develop it, you never strengthen it. Saying no to yourself is a requirement for success in life. Saying no to yourself and holding that line of that no is not an optional discipline. It's a necessary discipline. And here you have an opportunity that is abundantly rich with a natural proclivity where you have to hold the line and say no, both men and women, right? And so I see the mercy of God in this boundary that he has drawn, giving us an opportunity to grow in a way that we would not otherwise know we need to grow. And in so doing, preparing us for success in marriage. When your wife is pregnant and you're in a season of the blackouts where you can't touch her, will you have the discipline already to handle yourself because you learned to say no to yourself when you really didn't want to, when you really felt like it was just more natural to say yes? That's it for today. That's the message, that God in his mercy is teaching us to say no to ungodliness and using this beautiful journey of finding someone, falling in love with them, and saying to you, wait until you marry them, to be with them in that way. Go